Yo, my name's Chis Gillis. I help people overcome stuttering the authentic way, and right now, today, I'm going to react to George Springer, a baseball player who overcame his stutter. I'm going to react to his story and what his parents say and just his journey. So, I've only watched about a minute of this, and the rest is up for fate and up for a reaction. Let's dig into it.
Oh my goodness, practically out of the womb. I mean, I can remember very early on, it was not just us, but certainly his grandparents, rolling paper balls to him, when he could barely walk. Now, I tell this story, which I think really epitomizes sort of George at a young age. He was 7 years old, and I was the coach of his minor league baseball team. And it was the night before one of the games, and he's downstairs in his bedroom. And he's got his uniform on, as he often did the night before. He's very excited, looking forward to playing. And I go downstairs, and he's tossing a baseball in his bed, up and down, up and down, up and down. I said, "Buddy, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm thinking about the game tomorrow." I said, "You're thinking about the game tomorrow?"
You know what? Something with that reminded me of a story that I heard. I'm gonna try to remember it on the spot right now. But it was a Reddit post. A Reddit post that someone said he would practice every night throwing a ball up in the air and catching it and saying words over and over and over again, and he would be fluent because just the act of him throwing up the ball and catching it took his mind off his speech and put all his focus on here. So whatever would come out fluently. And I'm not saying that's the way to overcome your stutter. I'm just saying that's kind of cool that he just talked about that. But also how much your stutter is in your head. And once you get out of your head and you focus on something bigger, you have a purpose in life, then your main focus is taken off of stuttering, and you can be the real you.
He goes, "Yeah." He says, "Ricky Stroh's pitching. We're playing the Red Sox, Dad." And I said, "Yeah, what about it?" "Well, I'm thinking about my approach in the batter's box." And I went, "Oh my goodness." And I ran upstairs to her and I said, "Marie, we got something special here. He's already thinking about this stuff."
Despite growing up with a stutter that would quiet George outside of the friendly confines of his home, he found comfort on the baseball field. The Connecticut native eventually earned a scholarship to play for UConn, where he began to break out of his shell.
I was like, you know what? I am who I am. I can't really control it. I'm just going to.
Before we hear what this guy says, I just want to kind of cut it in here and say the best thing you can do for yourself, the absolute best thing you can do for yourself if you stutter, is to go after your dreams anyway. I see so many posts on Facebook, on Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, says, should I do this if I stutter? Will I be allowed to do this if I stutter? Can I talk on a microphone if I stutter? Yes, try, do your best. And in the journey of in developing to this person you want to become, you will unlock certain parts about you would not have unlocked before doing this, but because you took this journey and you're on this journey, you develop into a person who overcomes their stutter with the right mindsets and actions, of course, not just randomly.
Going to slowly talk, and then ended up at a big school and was in some big classes and had to talk and just said, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I was still scared to talk, but I understood that I kind of had to do it. And my coach in college used to say, you don't ever stutter when you talk about something you want to talk about. It's only when you don't understand something or this and that. And I said, Coach.
So I just want to point out, he still stutters. I hear his stutters, and I love it. I love that it says overcome I love that the video title says overcoming, because what overcoming your stutter is not letting it hold you back. It's not 100% fluency. That's impossible. And I love that it shows that he still stutters, because overcoming stuttering is about being truly you. And we're about to listen why he's truly him right now, how he got to that point.
It's not that I don't understand it. I can't say it. And he would say, well, then, I remember this. He said, you need to make an adjustment and learn how to say what you have to say. And at the time, I was kind of like, yeah, all right, I was mean, whatever. But then I kind of actually sat back and I was like, he's right. I have to learn to say what I have to say, and just to get over the fear of I might stutter here, I might stutter there. You just have to say what you have to say, and if you do it, oh well. If not, great.
We were very, very blessed
Facts.
to have Coach Jim Penders. He's a wonderful coach, but more importantly, he's a wonderful man. He did not accept anything less than George's best, not just on the field, but in the classroom, and continued to push George to move simply beyond, the limits of one's self-absorption. It's very easy, I think, to retreat and to retract and to not want to put oneself out there, but to be bold, to be self-confident, that's difficult. That's a skill. And Jim was very prominent in helping to reinforce those same values that as a family we've been trying to encourage in Georgia. And so we certainly give him an enormous amount of credit for all the assistance that he provided during that 3-year time period.
Springer went on to have an outstanding college career. In 2011, he was named an All-American and became the highest drafted Husky when the Astros took him with the 11th overall pick. 3 seasons later, on April 16, 2014, Springer was called up to the majors. And with his speech impediment on full display for the media, he stepped into the spotlight.
When he was first called up.
Damn, I'm going to put that back a little bit. So right now, I want to ask you, how would you act? How would you react to this situation right here? There's about 6 cameras on him, like a bunch of microphones, crowded, probably pretty noisy. How would you react? Would you freak out or would you shine? My old self would definitely freak out. But there comes a point, I bet George Springer has hit this point, because he's a badass, where you view discomforting situations and pressured situations as a time to shine, as a time to show your true character, as a time to expose what you've been working on, your self-development. And how exciting is that? Other people get to see your true character, regardless if you stutter or not. Just you exposing yourself, there's a thrill in that. And if you focus on that thrill, instead of focusing in your head trying not to stutter, that's when there's enjoyment. Enjoyment in this, enjoyment in social interactions, enjoyment everywhere.
To the spotlight.
When he was first called up, one of the baseball writers was doing a story on George's stuttering. I got a phone call about it, and I was very, very nervous. I felt, certainly at that stage of his major league career, he needed to focus on playing the game, and he needed to reduce the amount of distractions in his life. And I can remember calling him up and asking him, are you sure you want to do this? And he said, Dad, if there is one kid I can help by telling my story, I have to do it. That, to me, is the internalization of all the things that we have tried to do as parents, which is it's not just about you, but it's about your own self-development, but using that in service to other people.
100%.
Throw to first. That's his first major league hit, an infield hit for George Springer.
Shortly after his big league debut, Springer became the spokesperson for the Stuttering Association for the Young, also known as SAY, where he hopes to teach kids and teens who stutter that their speech disorder doesn't have to hold them back.
Guys, again, I've had stutter since
I was born, I guess. I don't know if it started when I was a kid or not, but I've had it. I'll always have it. I don't really think I'm going to outgrow it.
If I can help anybody, a kid, adult, whoever it is, I believe that that's my job.
You see him in an environment like this, talking and everything, and talking in front of people, and it helps you understand the struggle he went through as a kid. And to see where he's at now is awesome, and he's trying to help other people out and get him to the point he's at.
The event's getting bigger and bigger, and rightfully so. He's doing a great job bringing awareness to something that's close to his heart.
I was there. I know exactly how they feel. I know exactly the pain that they're going through, because it's not really a disease that anybody that thinks about, but it is a thing that you hear it in school and
A disease.
you get laughed at.
My name is Ruben. I am 13 years old, and I'm the person who started.
The fear to speak in public, or the fear to speak to to an adult or to your friends, and that's a tough draw for anybody that's a kid, who doesn't quite understand that it's not really anything you can control. And it's great to see all these kids go out and just say, you know what, I am who I am, and I'm going to say whatever it is that I have to say, and if it takes me an extra 5 seconds, oh well.
It just ended on that. That is the best spot it could have ended on. The best spot it could have ended on was him saying that if I stutter, I stutter. Oh well. I still got the words I wanted to say, yo. If it took an extra 5 seconds, it took an extra 5 seconds. And that's the spot you want to get to. That's where the power is. When you realize it doesn't control you. You only think it does, but it really doesn't. You control you. You control your actions. You control what you say. You control what you do. Your stutter is just there to indicate you when you're stressed, when you have anxiety, when you have tension inside you. It's just there to tell you that. It's not supposed to repress you. It's not supposed to hold you back. You hold you back. That's it. That's it. That was a pretty good video. I enjoyed that quite a bit. It didn't dive too much into actual stuttering, but more of how it didn't hold him back. It doesn't hold you back. You can still be the person you want to be. That's it. You decide your fate. Your stutter is just there to warn you when you're anxious. That's it. Alright? Now if you want help to get to the spot where your stutter doesn't affect you anymore, where you're authentic regardless of how powerful, how much you stutter, no matter how stressful the situation is, you can still be you. You can still express yourself. You can still express your ideas. If you want to get to that state where it doesn't have any power on you, you can go to parties. You go to talk to friends. You don't feel inferior around friends. Then comment down below or DM me on Instagram at CGStutter, and we may be able to work together. I do have a lot of clients right now, so I don't have that many spots left. But yeah, thank you for watching. I love you. Peace.